and on that side, face south. Get them some flowers, children. Get them a leaf first to make a sankalp. That's all right. Yeah. Get the main fella, this true. First one. First one, yeah. Hold this in your hands then. Stand by the head and face out. Iqbal bolo Bindravan Bihari Lal ki Jai. So at this point in time, we are about to begin the Antishti Samskar. Let us all clasp our hands together. At this time, we make the sankalp, that is the sons and other relatives make the declaration to perform all the rites. Om Vishnur 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 Adya Brahmano Dvite Paradhe Shri Svedvara Kalpe Vaivasmanvantare Ashtavinshati Tame Kaliyuge Karipratam Charane Trinadadesh Cunupia Grame Punya Chetre Bhuda Avatare Vartamanyatanam Sanvatsare Maghamase Shuklapakshe Dwadashi Tithi Shanivasare Amuk Nakshatre Amuk Yoge Amuk Karne Amuk Rashishite Surya Amuk Rashishite Shashamki Cha Shashishu Grahishu Yata Yata Rashi Stan Sateshu Amuk Gotrasya Amuk Nam. Take your names in your mind as the performers. Mother's name Doolarie Seepersad Pretasya Antishti Karam Aham Karishye. Om Shri Vishnave Namaha. Rest it on top. Put some push grass on top for a minute. Yeah. Give all of them some in their hands. So we continue to meditate upon Lord Krishna, Vishnu Bhagavan, to whom we turn, who is described as the Lord of all after-death ceremonies, the soul of all souls. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Shantakaram bhujagashayanam Parvanabam Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrasham Megavaranam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Virdhyanagam Vande Vishnum Bhavbhaiharam Sarvalokekanatham. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. You can sit now. Take all the flowers. Put all the flowers on top right here. Right here. The lota with the water. Stand right where you were standing when you finish. Now you sprinkle the water on the body there. Om Adya Mukh Gotrasya Doolarie Seepersad Pretasya Mritsnane Shaunimitam Snanam Mayadiyate Tavopatishtatam. Chandan now. In such cases where the body is not available or accessible, the kush grass is placed and the kush grass is used. In this case, the body is there, but because of all the protocols, we use the kush grass on the top. So apply the chandan on the kush grass. Om Adya Mukh Gotrasya Doolarie Seepersad Pretasya. Spray the perfume now. Mritsnane Shaunimitam Gandham Mayadiyate Tavopatishtatam. Mala. Now you'll offer the mala. Mala, beautiful strings of flowers that we will adore the body with. And this ceremony, of course, is very simple. The body has been given a bath, clean clothing has been. Give all of them. No, one. Yeah. You'll get one each to come and offer them. And now the body is being adored by the ceremonial bath. The fragrances, the perfumes, the sandalwood, beautified with flowers, malas, and then arti. Adya Mukh Gotrasya Doolarie Seepersad Pretasya Mritsnane Shaunimitam Pushpamala Mayadiyate Tavopatishtatam. The arti, put some flowers in charya. Now you take the thali with the lighted diya. You begin from right here and you walk around. You all will touch him and follow him as he walks around for 5 times. Those who can stand, you may stand for a few minutes. If you cannot, remain seated. Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare. Walk around. Dukhiyo ki dukh dhur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Jab char taraf andiyara ho, आशा का धूर किनारा हो, फिर तू ही ना खेवन आरा हो, फिर तू ही बेरा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों के दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों के दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। Do one by one right here 3 times. Come right here, stand. One by one, 3 times right there, and then you pass. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. You all may be seated. Yam dware mahaghore andena tamasavrite tat lokanartaya deepayam upatishtatam. गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय। राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी। One adipinda. Sri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari, Enata Narayana Vasudeva. Take this pinda, the first pinda that we will offer there by the right hand. Adyamuk Gotrasya Doolarie Seepersad Funeral Mritstane Shaunimitam in some water in hand. Ishtate Pindo Mayadiyate Tavo Patishtatam. Onto the pinda. Give a few drops of water. No pinda, water. Right, good. Take some water in the palm. Open the thumb and let it run through between the thumb and index on the pinda. Good. Other members of the family who would like to come and offer the malas and arti can do so at this point in time. You all can sit anywhere close by until others have completed their offerings of the mala and the offerings of their arti. You could come, take the malas one by one, whoever is coming, or the flowers as the case may be. You will know what you bought for who to use, and he will pass the thali for the arti, right? You go up, he'll bring it for you. Offer the mala, and then you'll offer the arti 3 times right there. Itana tu karna swami, jab pran tan sanikale, गोविंद नाम लेकर फिर प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। श्री गंगा जी का तट हो। Press it sorry on top right there. Watch. Press it on top right there. Good. श्री गंगा जी का तट हो वा जमुना जी का तट हो। मेरा सावला निकट हो जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना can find it here. तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। गोविंद नाम लेकर फिर प्राण तन से निकले। श्री वृंदावन कथल हो मेरे मुख में तुलसी दल हो। विष्णु चरण का जल हो जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। मेरा श्यामला कराहो बंसी कसुर भरा हो। तिराछी चरण धरा हो जब प्राण तन से निकले। You just put the mala, no artificial. जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। सिर सोहता मुकुट हो मुखरे परा काल लटकत हो। यही ध्यान मेरे घता हो जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। उस उक्त जल दियाना हमको न भूल जाना। नूपुरा की धुन सुनाना जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले। नेक्स्ट वे क्लॉकवाइज। जब प्राण कंत में आवे कोई रोग ना सतावे। यम त्रासना जब प्राण तन से निकले, इतना तू करना स्वामी। जब प्राण तन से निकले, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, युगल चरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। जीवन देखे जाल बिछाया, रच की माया नाचन अचाया। चिंता मेरी तभी मिटेगी, जब चिंतन में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। तुमने लाखों पापी तारे, मेरी बारी बाजी हारी। मेरे पास न पुण्य की पूंजी, मेरे पास न पुण्य की पूंजी। पद पूजन में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। राम हे राम, राम हे राम। घर घर अत को धर धर बत को, कहा कहा अपना सिर पत को। इस जीवन में मिलो न तुम ओ राम, इस जीवन में मिलो न तुमको। मुझे मरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. This morning we have all gathered here, family, friends, and of course those who are viewing on the live stream as well, joining in this morning's Antishti Samskar or the after-death rites and rituals, the after-death ceremony. It is, of course, sad whenever there is death, whenever we have lost a near and dear one, a family, relative, a friend, even strangers sometimes, who we have no relation to or whom we don't know. But we share in that grief, we share in sorrow whenever someone has died. But Bhagavan Krishna reminds us that death is certain for that which is born into this world. And having acquired the human body will one day die. Like every other life form, the 8.4 million species of life on earth. But every one of those species, as long as birth is given on the earth, everything dies at some point in time. And therefore, it is with great amount of grief and sadness we perform the rites of our dear mother, Granny, as we would call her. I called her the same after many years coming to the home to officiate for various ceremonies and pujas, and everyone at the home calling her Granny. I myself started calling her Granny. And of course, knowing her, for she has lived a full life despite the circumstances that has led to her death. And life is as such that nothing happens by mistake, nothing happens by coincidence. And Bhagwan Shri Ram in the Ramayana, he reminds Lakshman, he says, no one is the cause of another's joy or sorrow. And therefore, joy and sorrow becomes part of life. These are the dualities of life. Everything that you think about, there's an opposite to that. And each opposite we endure from time to time. We are faced with from time to time. You know, it's very early in the morning. Night has just finished. Now it is daytime. And so that is another opposite by itself. And where there is birth, there is going to be death. Death only for the body. For the soul is eternal, everlasting, and the soul is described in these Hindu scriptures as being God himself. Life itself, Atma, the soul, Jiva-Atma, is Bhagavan himself, who has taken the separation from the Paramatma, and in the individualized form, the soul has entered into a body. So death is certain, that is sure. This is probably the most certain thing in life. It is death. And we face circumstances, situations of death every day. Every day people die in large numbers. And similarly, while many are dying, there are many who are taking birth as well. But Granny, of course, quite a jovial person. I think she had a great sense of humor. And of course, she loved to talk and laugh as well. And over the years, I would say, you know, she had a distinct voice. She did not have to identify herself even when she took up the telephone to call. Her voice was very distinct, and you could easily make out her voice. Quite, you know, jovial, good sense of humor, always, you know, I don't think I have ever seen her angry. Maybe others may have seen her, but for sure, I have not seen her angry. I have always seen her smiling, laughing, and some of the images captured there, dancing, of course, celebrating. I think this was her nature. She was this kind of person. And until recent, of course, last time I would have seen her was about probably just over a month ago in the month of January, performing, of course, the Uttam Shodashi, the annual Shraddha. And she was, of course, busy in the kitchen, preparing the food and everything else. And no one expected, of course, at that point in time, in a month's time, you'd be here performing Mom's Antishti Samskar. And this is why I say life is uncertain. One day you're here, one day the total opposite may happen. And this is why we have to appreciate every moment. We have to appreciate every day, and we have to appreciate those around us, because those around us will not be there forever. We ourselves will not be here forever. And this is why when we wake up on mornings, coming up the road, I was listening to the radio program, and the announcer made the same statement that, this morning the greatest gift has come to us, and that is the gift to wake up, the gift of life. And that is our greatest gift. Every day we spend on this earth, every day that we can enjoy this beautiful creation, God has placed us on earth amongst 8.4 million species of life. It is only the human body, the human birth, human beings can enjoy to its maximum this beautiful creation, this universe. Other life forms, animals, other life forms, they have all the five senses just as we have, but what they don't have is the power of discrimination, the power of choice, the power to know right from wrong. And this is what separates us. This is what makes us unique. This is what makes us special, that we can make choices, noble ones, sometimes righteous ones, good ones, and sometimes, of course, the opposite. But Bhagwan has given us, God has given us intelligence. He has given us the mind. And it says, in Bhagavad Gita, when the soul withdraws itself from the body, first it withdraws the senses and it withdraws the mind. And once the mind and the senses have gone, then the soul eventually will leave the body. And we see in the case of many who are dying, the senses start to go. The eyes are open, but they are not seeing. The ears are there, but they are not really hearing. They have lost taste through the tongue. And the pain has disappeared suddenly, despite in immense pain before. And so even smell is lost. So the senses, they eventually withdraws themselves from the body, and then eventually the Jiva Atma, or the soul, leaves the body. So Bhagwan reminds us of this. But despite of all this knowledge and wisdom and knowing all these things, who will not grieve? The loss of a mother is probably the greatest loss that one can ever experience in their life. And I say so not with any disrespect to fathers, but fathers have their place, mothers have their place. But a mother herself, the one who could give life, the one who gives life, the one who ensures procreation, the one who ensures continuance of the human species. A mother, she has a very, very special place. And despite, as we grow up, some of us may be closer to mother, some of us may be closer to father, but that day, when that day comes and you lose your mother, that's a void that is created that no one can replace. And therefore, this, of course, brings with it a certain amount of sadness. But our scriptures are very clear, and we must take comfort in the scriptures, because the scriptures will give us the courage, give us the strength, give us the know-how through the knowledge that they possess. And this is why it is said, Ek din hami bhi jana hai, ek din hami bhi jana hai, जग चला जाता है सारा इसी का कौन ठिकाना है एक दिन हमें भी जाना है एक दिन हमें भी जाना है एक दिन हमें भी जाना है एक दिन, which means one day. हमें भी जाना है, one day we will all leave, and we will be on a journey onto the hereafter. the journey begins at some point. Some say life is a journey. Indeed, it is. It is a journey that is supposed to take us from where we are to a higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of elevation. And therefore, why were we born as human beings? Why did God give us this body amongst all the other bodies? Because we were in the other bodies as well. We existed in what we call the lower life forms until we attained or acquired the highest life form. And this is why it is said in the Ramayana, Bari bhagya manushatanu pava suradhura labha sabha grantana gava. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Our dear mother, she has done her duty. She has fulfilled her duties as a child, I am sure, to her parents, as a wife to her husband, as a mother to her children, as a sister to her siblings, as a grandmother, and so many relationships. She would have done, of course, what we will say, we have done our best. We have done our duty. We have done our responsibility. And therefore, that is an important part of life, doing your duty. You know, a mother, even before, once there's conception, the mother begins her sacrifice. She begins to share half of what she eats, half of what she drinks. She endures great pain for 9 months before she brings this child into the world. And when the child is brought into this world, one will think, well, the difficult part is over, but the difficult part has now started. Now she begins to spend her 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, and all the days in a month. She has no rest. She has no time to relax. She has no time to do anything but to attend to her child or to her children, to her husband, to her home, to her family. And this is a never-ending job. And this is why sometimes we don't take time to appreciate the sacrifices that, of course, a mother in a home has made for her children. And of course, like the deceased, people of her generation and generations before would have made great sacrifices for their children. What we enjoy today, they were not fortunate to enjoy when they were much younger. What we have today, they probably had much less during their lifetime. The comforts, the luxuries, and everything we enjoy today, they did not have it. But you know what? They made all the sacrifices so that we would have it. And today, many of us are in the same position, making those sacrifices so that our children will have it. And therefore, this sacrifice, of course, is what we are called to make as mothers, as fathers, as parents. And when we make those sacrifices, of course, we will see that there's some sort of comfort, there's some sort of satisfaction. And therefore, this morning, as we perform the final rites, this is only the body here now, the body which kept the soul. And what is going to be left behind are memories. This is what is going to be left behind. When you look at all these images, these pictures, and so on, these will be everlasting memories. This cannot be taken away from anyone. All the good memories, and sometimes whatever is not good as well. But the good memories is what we must strive on. The good memories must take over the mind and only remember the good memories and the good times. And when you identify with the deceased, how would you identify with her? All you will remember is this particular body or those images that you are seeing. Even though the soul has lost that body and the body is going to be cremated, because the soul cannot be seen, how do you identify with the mother who has gone? Only through the body that she once existed in. So therefore, let the good memories flourish. Let the good memories remain in the mind. Have no regrets or remorse. You know, life is as such that we all have good days, we have bad days, we have ups and downs. We all have agreements and we all have disagreements as well. And therefore, this is a part of life. And we act to the best of our knowledge, the best of wisdom, the best of circumstances. Let us not be bothered, because life is destined, you know. Life is destined. If you understand that, life is destined. And our lives have been written already because of our past births and our past actions. And the karmas you create today just don't affect the next birth, but affects many, many, sometimes thousands or millions of births that may be or that lies ahead. And therefore, Granny has lived her life. She has done everything possible. And despite the circumstances that have led to her death, this is probably, not probably, this is indeed her destiny. And therefore, we must accept that as such. And of course, we pray that Bhagwan will grace her soul, lift her soul, and continue to bless her soul. Egwal Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So this time we'll have the eulogy, and after the eulogy, I see here on the program, there's open floor for anyone who wants to come and make some remarks, and then we move into the closing prayer and viewing of the body.
To say a few words on the life of Gran. My grandmother was born in Cunupia village, South Trinidad, where she spent her childhood and adolescent years. She was not allowed to go to school further than Standard 5, yet she did such an excellent job. Could you imagine what she could have accomplished if she went further? She was one of 9 children to Boodoo and Hanuman. Granny later met and got married to Krishnadat and moved to Williamsville, where they raised 4 children, Mala, Deva, June, and Ryan. Granny always said she has been working since she knew herself. This is so true. She worked hard. To say that she worked hard does not begin to explain. From working in the sugarcane plantations, cutting cane, to selling in the market, and even selling Hawaiian punch with Uncle Danny. Granny eventually started up the business at White Castle Restaurant and Bar at Balmain, where she was very successful. Nana and Granny both ensured that all their children had a much better life than what they had. Everyone who met Granny while she was younger, or even recent and all her life, I should say, She always welcomed them with love, warmth, kindness, and good food. I don't think there was ever anyone who came to see Granny and didn't gain a couple pounds before they left. I know that everyone will always love and miss her dearly. However, she had a special bond with her grandkids, and I am sure each one of us has a lot of unique memories of her. For me, my memories of her is my entire life, 29 years of love and blessings, which she gave to me. Granny gave me my first bath. She massaged me as a baby. She watched me grow up in front of her eyes, from preschool to university graduation, even my postgraduate studies. Granny was there to support me. When Gran saw me get married, she said, "Doll, I couldn't believe that I will be blessed to see you get married today." Gran left a void in my heart, a space in my life that will never be filled. But her values, her teachings, her way of life will always be there through all of us. Thank you, Gran, for teaching us the true meaning of hard work, determination, and strength. We all love you and will keep you forever in our hearts. On behalf of the entire family, we thank all those who supported us through this difficult time. Sitaram. Uncle Troy, can you come say something?
Sitaram. You know, it's so easy to say a lot of things when you're a part of the family, as brothers, siblings, children. But today, I want to share with you a different perspective. But everybody here knows me, and you're my family. But Granny, Scotty, Ryan, David, and Mara, and the kids, they have no relationship. So that's why it gives me a sense of pride to stand before you and tell you some things about Granny from a different side of things that you may not have observed. And in Spanish, my brother said a lot of great things from his experience and his teaching, and through this person. But for me, I was just a young man, just lost my mom. I felt that boy, I knew that emptiness. And I walked with that me for years, and it was so lonely. And by association, by going across by Uncle Danny and neighbors of mine, Danny and Scotty, and I was very good friends. So whatever Danny having, they would have. And I was so much involved in everything as I was boy doing. But there was something in Granny that reminded me of my mom. And I felt that that boy was filled. It was a kind of sparkle. This picture here is not just the best picture you choose from an album. This picture here is the life that I knew of her. I didn't know any other side. Today you walk on the street and people will greet you. They really smile when they see you. When I came to that home, that place was so full of energy and life radiated, emanated, protruded. She was so full of energy that she extended way out to everybody else. It was all inclusive. And you know, when I look back at those years, I remember one thing that strikes me. Even when I met my wife, who I've known for over 38 years now, I remember when I first took her to the family, I took her to a Doolarie celebration done by Granny. But Granny's have two brothers. So Granny, what do you think about this girl? No, she said that she just do everything to find. And today, she accepted me since then as a son and a puppy, and as a part of the family, and my wife, like a, you know, like her own child too. And she has supported us throughout this period of time. my own children have learned about her granny too. Because that love that she grew was something that few of us that live our lives really have. Because, you know, today, you know, we look back now and we look at the pictures, but there was something, that fun, that love, that sense of adventure, that sense to appreciate life by the moment, that sense of caring and loving. Granny was a perfect example of a pioneer woman in children. While everybody was sitting in the room, housewives, just enjoying being housewives, rocking the hammock and telling children what to do. Granny stepped it once that she was a modern visionary in her time, seeing things way beyond us and the future that she was creating. Nobody knew why she was working as hard as she did. She got up every day, and as Carissa just said, she actually saw something with clarity, a vision to take her family so clear that she devoted her whole life and all her energy that she was unstoppable. She was like a lioness. A lot of us never saw her angry. I saw her angry, and I'll be honest, because that love for her children and for me and even my children was so great, they don't mess with them at all. You know, and that is something that you need. That was something that people today abandon their children. You do so many things, but she will fight each and live. She will work night and day to find many things to the quality of life that we have. And we all are successful, including myself too. But I want to extend it out because not only that, but as a mother, she was so deeply rooted. You know, when you meet her, she was all with open arms for house. She always liked to have a good time, and she's biggest, greatest joy is to see all of us together. And she, whatever she had, my name was always on top of her list. You know, and I know that my family name was top of the list. So the thing about it is that she was an all-inclusive person. And I think that one thing you could take away from that is not only memory. Granny has taught us the right way to live. That we should set aside our differences. She was probably the most patient person. She would sit down and listen to your story if you had a half day to tell you, even though she was busy. She was very kind, she was open to everybody, and she was so knowledgeable, she would offer advice to anyone. So I just want to say to my brother Ryan and Eva and my sister June and Nala, it's sad because we could no longer touch her. It's sad in a way because we could no longer see her smile again. But she has not only left us with memories, but she has left us with a way to live, a way we should communicate, a way we should embrace life. Her love for nature, that is where she found her peace, with her birds, her plants, her flowers, her trees, her communication. I think she was like an angel sent to us to teach us about life lessons and how we ourselves could take this into the future. So nothing has been lost. Nothing has been lost. Not only memories that she did, but she taught us how we should live. And anyone who was with us for the last couple of weeks prior to the death would share that because we had so much fun. That adventure in Maracas, she was always ready. You want to go hiking, sightseeing? She was great. But one thing we could take away from that is that she wanted to see all of us together, happy, jovial. Today, I want to say to my brothers and sisters and all the grands, is that let us learn from her and let us take this now forward. Let us now do what she really wanted. Let us keep together, closely knit, and let us spread that joy outward. Let us be all inclusive and reach out to everybody that we meet with that love and greet them so that we can start the day and change our culture in the world that we have. Because too many people have been too selfish and arrogant and self-serving, but she didn't do that life at all. So I just want to say that in closing, that it has been a wonderful, exhilarating experience in that time. It has been one who has touched me since that day. At every moment that I get to be a part of the family, I would drop whatever I do into video because I knew that that love is something that is quite unique. And that is something that people always carry on from generation to generation. So it's sad, but in one way, I think we can all make it go on and on and on. So with that, I just want to say that let us not to be so, overwhelmed by the situation, but let us look forward, as Connie said, to more positive, brighter, happier moments. Those couple difficult days that we spent with Granny prior is just really an example of the person that she really was. And we'd all remember, even whether it was a beggar, or whether it was black or white or tall or short, she was open and welcome to everyone. So let us take a life lesson, let us go forward, and let us promote that in our lives. So it's really an amazing woman, a pioneer woman, a visionary, a hard-worker, independent woman, never depending on anybody, and she had a peace, a sense of inner peace that is also. So to everyone, let's carry on from today and let's build a stronger family unit and let's promote that and enjoy and extend it also.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. I don't think there are any others. Anybody else? All right. Of course, today, Granny was a mother-like figure, and as I sat there, I was just remembering my mother. Today, she would have been 76 years old, but she died 6 months ago. Today actually would have been her birthday. And Granny was that mother-like figure. And just reflecting a little bit on Granny herself, every time you went to the home in Balmain, and now Sonilaru Trace, she always wanted you to eat. And I remember my first experiences with the Sahinata curry, and she'll say, what you going to drink? You'll drink a ginseng? And Mahindra go downstairs and bring a ginseng, Carissa go, and sometimes she will run downstairs, or you'll drink a malt or whatever. But she always wanted you to eat. And I don't know if the Sahinata curry was her favorite dish, probably when I was coming, but I know she usually will make that. And that's something, of course, you don't get everywhere. Not everybody knows that particular form of a dish. So may God bless her soul. And what we do from here on is for the soul. At this point in time, our foremost duty is to dispose of the body, which we are doing in a very short while from now through cremation, and everything else as it pertains to after-death ceremonies has to do with the soul's transition into the hereafter. And therefore, what is required is some sort of strength that we will gain from our faith and comfort in God, and the sense of duty to perform all the necessary according to our means and ability. Ek baar bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Let us stand as we join in closing prayer. We ask Bhagwan once more, as we submit to you, may the soul of the Divine Mother here ascend and become one with you again. Harihi Om Anadhi Nidhano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Prita Moksha Pradho Bhava Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama गीता गंगा च गायत्री सीता सत्य सरस्वती ब्रह्म विद्या ब्रह्म भलित्री संध्या मुख गेहनी अद्रमाद्राचिदानंद भवगनी भयनाशनी वीरत्रही परानंत तत्वार्थ ज्ञान मंजरीम ओम शांति ओम ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम। एक बार बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। सबको जय जय सीताराम। Please be seated. Of course, the family and everyone here who wishes to come and view, and I see most of you have your flowers in hand, you can do that at this time. We'll be leaving in a short while, of course, to the Waterloo cremation site for cremation. May God bless you. Jai Sitaram.
Kila. And in a similar manner, when we take our exit, we shall leave alone. दो दिन की जिंदगी है, दो दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize that this life is a very short visit to a mela. This is a world of strangers. No one is yours. Although everyone lives, I am still alone. आए भी अकेला और जाए भी अकेला.
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला